Good evening, this is NTV Tonight with me, Joram Paul Sonko. Welcome along and thank you very much for joining us from wherever you're watching in Kampala and across the globe. Now in the news tonight, Operation Ganyegenya has kicked off with the Ministry of Works and Transport, KCCA, and the Uganda Police leading a crackdown on faulty taxis operating from across the Kampala metropolitan area. The 100-day enforcement campaign has already seen fewer taxis on the roads as authorities target vehicles operating under dangerous mechanical conditions. Now, meanwhile, new studies have revealed that Kampala is recording at least 211 new HIV infections every week, translating to more than 11,000 new infections annually, or about 30 new infections every day. Recent data from a Kampala Capital City Authority study shows that women account for 62% of the newly identified HIV-positive cases. And before we get right into the developments making headlines across the country, here are your top stories.
NTV Tonight,
brought to you by
DFCU, going further together.
Your top stories tonight. Several passengers inconvenienced as police launched a 100-day enforcement campaign against vehicles in dangerous mechanical condition across Greater Kampala.
The responsibility for putting a roadworthy vehicle on the road begins with the owner and then the operator.
Police are now asking the public to become part of the Operation Ganyegenya by rejecting and reporting dangerous vehicles.
You don't need an IOV. Vehicle tied with ropes. Please, call us.
Also on NTV Tonight.
At Busia, there's no security. There's no person trying to guide people. We have been here for more than 5 hours.
Nearly 1,000 travelers heading from Nairobi to Kampala stranded at the Busia border, with some spending up to 5 hours waiting to be cleared by Kenyan immigration officials. And
that stage of the first meeting, my job was to provide information.
the prosecution in the treason case against opposition figure Dr. Kiza Besigye and his co-accused Haj Obed Lutale has presented video and audio recordings to court as part of the evidence.
DFCU, going further together.
Welcome along, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us. Our sign language interpreter on desk this week is Maureen Nambalirwa. And so it begins. The Uganda Police Force has rolled out a 100-day enforcement campaign called Operation Ganyegenya, a crackdown on passenger service vehicles in dangerous mechanical condition, DMC, across the Greater Kampala metropolitan area to improve road safety. Several commuter taxis with severe mechanical faults were moved to police stations across Kampala, leaving passengers stranded on the streets. We have details.
In Uganda, on average, 15 people die daily in road crashes nationwide, according to the 2025 Traffic Police Statistics in the annual crime report. This rate reflects an upward trend from previous years, which averaged 13 to 14 deaths a daily, attributed to a cocktail of reasons, among them being passenger service vehicles in dangerous mechanical condition, reckless speeding drivers, and roads in wanting condition. Today, traffic police rolled out Operation Ganyegenya to rid Kampala streets of passenger service vehicles in dangerous mechanical condition, following a directive from the State Minister for Works and Transport, Fred Byamukama, who stressed that passenger safety overrides operational costs. It's Monday morning, and the most busy streets downtown Kampala were largely abandoned as taxi drivers opted to park their vehicles to avoid clashing with traffic police. The operation left several passengers stranded on the street, with many others fighting to board a few buses that had a green light.
The taxi operators are charging more money. Because of that advantage, they are taking advantage of lack of taxes. What I can see, the government has to revise. How can they go about this situation?
In Rubaga, some traffic officers were forced to jump on motorcycles to crack down errant drivers who tried to escape this operation. Police was on the lookout for commuter vehicles with bad brakes, worn-out tires or damaged seats, and in some instances, drivers missing valid permits. Several taxi operators and passengers who were affected today decried the ambiguity of the exercise, as they were not certain about what defined a ganya or old vehicle. Most of the impounded vehicles have been moved here at Natete police station. Meanwhile, business has been booming for mechanics around Kampala who say they made a kill.
It's like Christmas for us. Yes, we increased the charges. We are full to capacity here. We are good at our job, but we release the service stickers back onto poor roads.
Some taxi operators have appealed for soft loans from government to help revamp their trade.
Government should organize some soft loans for us. Please don't send us to money lenders. They will rip us off.
The fight to prevent road carnage is an uphill battle that demands a concerted effort from all stakeholders. Although some Ugandans we spoke to today were skeptic about whether the 100-day operation will be sustained, others are hopeful this move to rid Kampala streets of the fatal rusty fleet is a stride in the right direction. Juliet Nalwoga, NTV.
Followed by Juliet Naroga informs the basis of our poll question this evening. We want you to share your thoughts on how today's police crackdown on faulty taxis went. Share with us your thoughts on how today's police crackdown on faulty taxis went. For those following proceedings on X, the hashtag is NTV Tonight, hashtag NTV News, or you can use the hashtag NTV Poll as you share with us your feedback. And those following proceedings on Facebook, you can as well share with us your feedback, especially around the areas you've been moving along today. Now moving on, what makes a vehicle dangerous to drive? Traffic police say it goes beyond age or appearance. Defects such as failed brakes, worn-out tires, damaged seats and insecure doors can place lives at risk. Police have now launched a 100-day operation targeting such vehicles, particularly dilapidated 14-seater taxis across the Kampala metropolitan area. Daniel Kibet reports.
At first glance, it may look like an old taxi, but for traffic police, some of these defects are more than signs of wear and tear. They can be warnings that a vehicle is no longer safe to carry passengers. A vehicle in dangerous mechanical condition, or DMC, is one whose mechanical defects compromise its safety on the road.
We have seen vehicles that when they're going to put fuel, they don't use the other normal way of putting fuel, but they put fuel from in front. There's a jerrycan somewhere, it's where they add fuel from in the vehicle. Other vehicles, the doors are carried by the passengers. We are particularly concerned about vehicles with serious defects, including brake systems, steering systems, tires, doors, seats, body structures, and other critical safety components.
This may appear to be individual defects, but when such problems affect a vehicle carrying passengers through busy city traffic, police say they become a serious road safety concern.
Our objective is not to inconvenience the road users. Our objective is to save lives. A roadworthy PSV is not a privilege, but it is a responsibility.
And the problem, police say, is not necessarily the age of the vehicle. Some of these taxis have been on the road for a long time. Rather than undergoing comprehensive mechanical checks and repairs, they are sometimes taken to a garage for minor fixes and then returned to the road. That cycle is now coming under scrutiny.
60 targeted PSV vehicles inspected in the past 2 weeks failed to meet the required safety standards. Last week, 398 drivers were apprehended for driving vehicles in dangerous mechanical condition alongside other violations.
The figures come as traffic police begin a 100-day operation targeting dangerous mechanical condition vehicles in the Kampala metropolitan area. The operation is specifically focused on dilapidated 14-seater taxis. Those found to be in dangerous mechanical condition will be impounded and inspected by the Police Inspectorate of Vehicles, IOV.
This is not a ban on taxis or the PSV business. We do recognize the important role played by the taxis in transporting Ugandans and also supporting the economy. But our concern is specifically with vehicles that are unsafe, unroadworthy, and beyond acceptable mechanical standards.
For vehicle owners, police have a simple message.
Do not wait for police to find the defect. Inspect and maintain your vehicle before putting it on the road. The responsibility for putting a roadworthy vehicle on the road begins with the owner and then the operator.
But enforcement alone may not be enough. Police say some vehicles are so visibly dilapidated that members of the public can identify the danger simply by looking at them. Passengers are therefore being urged not to board vehicles that appear visibly unsafe. And authorities are also asking the public to become part of the enforcement effort by reporting dangerous vehicles.
Some of these vehicles may want now to go and operate from inside there while there's no enforcement. But your role as a member of that public or community is to identify such a vehicle. You don't need an IOV. Vehicle tied with ropes. Vehicle, I've given you all the other things, but you know the rest. Please, call us.
The operation may last 100 days, but road safety cannot be a temporary campaign. For every vehicle owner, the responsibility to keep a vehicle roadworthy begins long before the traffic police stop it. Daniel Kibet, NTV.
Well, away from that, the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Mariam Wangadia, has agreed to surrender an industrial generator purchased with resources from the commission. Queries had risen about how the two generators had been acquired, although one of the recipients has since returned it. Members of the commission admitted to the accusations that funds meant for the activities of the commission were being sent through the individual accounts of staff members, contrary to financial regulations, as Jackson Onyango reports.
The appearance of the Uganda Human Rights Commission before the Audit Committee of Parliament marked another day of accusations and counter-accusations among the commissioners. At the start of the deliberations, it had all appeared that the commission members were on course to resolve their differences. Previously, the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises had challenged the commissioners to undertake mediation.
It will be prudent that you give us that update at whatever level it may be.
I do not find it comfortable, Mr. Chairman, that we discuss the mediation process or the stage at which it is.
Your basic update, are you telling us that mediation is ongoing?
The farthest I can go is that the mediation has started.
The committee was provided with a unanimous response that all was well with the mediation.
It is ongoing, but we should expedite it among ourselves.
The negotiations are on, and actually, in a very short time, I think we shall be done.
That at an appropriate time, you will know the outcome.
However, at the particular moment, things were yet to fall apart, scattering any chance of a continuation of the mediation. Sections of the 7-member commission found themselves compelled to pin the chairperson of the commission, Mariam Wangadia, on issues bordering on irregularities in the performance of duties. While appearing before the committee, the former secretary to the commission, Lucy Margaret Ejang, laid a barrage of accusations against Wangadia. Notable among the accusations was the sending of money for the activities of the commission through the individual account of Wangadia's personal assistant, Pauline Nansamba Mutumba, who has since been promoted to the position of the Director of Complaints Investigations and Legal Services.
They passed a resolution also that all funds to the chairperson's office should be paid to the account of the personal assistant on a quarterly basis.
Nansamba admitted the accusations as Wangadia sought to offer the justification for the action.
Times when money for activities, specifically for the security team of the chairperson, was paid onto my account because an e-cash system had not yet been developed for that purpose. The action person who has an activity, who has submitted particulars of the activity, can have money deposited on their accounts.
However, some of the officials pointed out that the practice of sending funds through individual accounts was irregular and illegal.
One is irregular. It's not a normal thing to do, to pay money on a personal account.
I also say it is irregular. Money should have been paid through an accounting officer and received in cash after being collected. All these accountants are here. That's how they do. When you say it has been a normal practice, I disagree. I'm a second-time commissioner. It has never happened. I've seen it happening in this commission.
The money for stakeholders, we don't see it, Mr. Chairman. So, and we don't know how it is spent, so I didn't even know where it goes.
A query was raised about how the commission had processed and purchased 2 industrial generators, which ended up with Wangadia and a member of the commission, Crispin Kaheru. Accusations were to the effect that the minutes of the commission were doctored, leading to the purchase of the generators and the approval of 5 million shillings honoraria for Wangadia.
We are here, we agree that this is what we are going to do. It is minuted that Honorable Jacqueline, in her own words, she said A, B, C, D. Then you find that what you said actually was changed.
Wangadia dismissed the allegation of doctoring the minutes as she argued that her fellow commissioners came up with the proposal.
As people of integrity and high moral standing,
Mention then.
I want to request that member to mention herself because she moved that motion and she made a submission on it and it was upheld. So let me throw this. After all, we are people of integrity.
Before the committee would smoke out anyone, Shifra Lukwago took the microphone and admitted originating the proposal.
We agreed that let her be given 5 million because it's what she requested net. Whenever that we have tribunals and decisions are made.
We are looking for somebody who moved the motion. I think she was found now.
So you are not the one?
Kaheru told the committee that he has since surrendered the generator as Wangadia instructed the secretary to the commission to have hers picked up.
The accounting officer can recover that generator from me, even today, if he wishes.
So accounting officer, Madam Chairperson, why does he need to recover if you can voluntarily deliver?
I actually explained why I needed that generator. However, I mean, if I can even write a letter deciding that I'm quitting my job, how about returning a generator?
The former secretary to the commission, Ejang, told the committee that her contract was terminated after she resisted the efforts to duplicate her roles and challenge the commission on the handling of funds, which has become a part of the scrutiny of the Auditor General's audit report for the financial 2024-25. Jackson Onyango, NTV.
That report brings us to our first commercial break. When we do return, we have plenty of stories coming along, including the following. Still to come.
The Eurogold mine here is mercury-free.
A new gold processing unit has been launched in West Nile, targeting to produce 20 kilograms of gold per week.
Just the beginning, where we're expecting to have at least 20 kilograms like in a week.
And in the Innovation Nation this week,
we built it in a way that it is easily accessible for everyone, especially the hospital workflow.
We examine an artificial intelligence system designed to analyze medical images in seconds and support clinicians in making faster diagnoses.
Is helping reduce the time and also help increase the accuracy rates.
Hello, Mr. Mukasa.
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay, sir. Are you the broker?
The original one.
I was told you have very good rentals.
That is right. How many bedrooms do you want?
I want 3 bedrooms.
Okay, did I tell you of the price?
Yes, of course. 500,000.
No. This side, the salary went a bit high.
Why?
Because the paint we use is of good quality. So the place gained the value.
Which paint?
Global paint.
How?
For the ceiling, for us we use global mat. And for the inside walls, we use global silk vinyl.
Okay, tell me about the outside walls.
Outside we use global weather coat emulsion so that the walls don't peel.
I'm really impressed. The precision you put while painting, I'm willing to pay any amount.
That is true, because here for us quality is paramount and the place becomes humidity.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Institutional transformation starts with people. This September, Uganda's largest gathering of professional returns. Welcome to the 31st ICPAU annual seminar, themed Transforming Institutions and Lives for Sustainable Growth. The 3-day event is designed to challenge how you think, lead, and grow. Discover how AI is reshaping institutions. Discover how to build sustainable investments and generational wealth. It's more than a seminar. It's an opportunity to learn, connect, and transform. Join us from the 2nd to the 4th of September at the Imperial Resort Beach Hotel, NTV, or join us online. For fees and registration, visit www.icpau.co.ug.
I found a mattress, comfy and quality, rose foam, so durable. I wake up energized and stress-free. Rose foam, my world of happiness.
A peaceful sleep prolongs life. Do you feel backaches or sleep disorder? Change your lifestyle by making the best choice to have a rose foam mattress for you and family. All types are available.
I'm stuck on you today, tomorrow, and forever. Rose foam, your family mattress.
Rose foam, a world of beautiful dreams.
New Tusker Premium Cider. Crisp, delicious apples crushed and blended to create a unique taste explosion.
Welcome back. You're still watching NTV Tonight with me, Joram Paul Sonko, and Maureen Nambaliwa on sign language. The Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, COSASE, has issued summons through the police to the top management of Uganda Airlines to appear before the committee and respond to queries and findings raised in the Auditor General's report of 2024-25. Some MPs allege that Uganda Airlines is among the agencies that the 11th Parliament leadership shielded from appearing before parliamentary committees. Now, these allegations and the Auditor General's findings were discussed during a COSASE committee sitting earlier today.
The seats, which appear to be unoccupied, were supposed to be occupied by officials from the Uganda National Airlines Company, who were meant to appear before the Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to answer audit queries contained in the 2024-2025 audit report. The officials from Uganda Airlines did not appear before the committee, neither did they send any communication to explain their absence, a move that angered committee members.
In terms of invitation, we have certainty that actually Uganda Airlines was invited through Parliament, and there's a delivery by the courier that delivers on behalf of Parliament, and duly signed as received.
The entity was expected to explain some of the audit queries, including the more than 1.9 trillion shillings invested by government of Uganda in the airline, while government's shareholding stands at 200 million shillings.
Had not been recognized as issued share capital, meaning the government injected 1.984 trillion, but only 200 million is recognized.
Another issue is that the company has not been profitable for the entire period. It lost 235 billion shillings in the year under review, including penalties for late payments made by fuel suppliers amounting to $1.78 million. The MPs now want them to come and answer the challenges.
Ugandans have invested about 1.9 trillion, and this capital has been eaten away. Right there, the 1.9 is now in the theory. It has been eaten away by losses of about 1.3 trillion, meaning we have only 660 billion left in terms of net worth.
We want to make their business run well. We want to be their partners in this period where we think they are not doing business well.
However, some MPs opposed the officials' appearance, arguing that their appearances before the committee have created negative media coverage for the business.
What I've been hearing in the corridor is that our interface with Uganda Airlines before the media creates more problem for the airline than what we want to resolve.
Experience here is that even the report that we were ought to present, we did not present because there was some verbal information that the report had been linked. Since then, Mr. Chairman, this entity has been a problem on the committee.
The MPs advocated for the appearance of the entity, with some accusing its officials of feeling very powerful.
In the recent parliament that we had, the Right Honourable Speaker said that, told all entities that had shelter by the authority are no longer sheltered. So they should appear before these committees to account for their queries.
There was any mess caused by anybody, they must be able to always be accountable. So Uganda Airlines must appear before us under our conditions, not under their conditions.
I want to move and guide that this committee shall accordingly issue summons to Uganda Airlines to appear before the committee on Thursday at 8 a.m.
The committee chairman said he would follow up on the summons with the parliamentary leadership.
We must witness them being filed with the office of the clerk. We are going to follow up these summons and also follow up with the office of the speaker. The summons must be ready for delivery.
Last week, Speaker of Parliament Jacob Oboth said no agency should hide under his name to avoid appearing before any parliamentary committee. Juma Kiria, NTV.
Well, now let's head to court, where the prosecution in the treason case against opposition figure Dr. Kizza Besigye and his co-accused Obed Lutale has presented video and audio recordings to court, alleging they provide evidence of meetings in Geneva, Athens and also Nairobi, where plans to overthrow the Ugandan government were discussed. The evidence was presented before the High Court as the prosecution continued the testimony of its principal witness, American private investigator Andrew Wilson.
Andrew Wilson told court that 15-minute video clips and about 2 hours of audio recordings were allegedly made on October 29, 2023, during a meeting in Geneva, Switzerland. He said the meeting was attended by Dr. Kizza Besigye, Joel Wakaima, Frank Kihiri, and himself. Wilson earlier testified that Wakaima contacted him through his website and told him about an alleged plot involving Wakaima and Besigye to overthrow the Ugandan government. Wilson said he subsequently contacted Ugandan authorities and was contracted to provide intelligence information concerning the alleged treason plot. Wilson told court that he later secretly recorded conversations involving himself, Besigye, and Wakaima using audio recorders and cameras concealed in gadgets including watches, a USB charger, a power bank, a key holder, and a neck accessory.
We're talking about the videos and the audios from the meeting.
The recording devices were presented in court where Wilson identified them before trial judge Emmanuel Baguma. They were subsequently placed on the court record. In one of the video clips played in court, Wilson and 2 other people whom he identified as Besigye and Wakaima are seen holding Ugandan currency notes. Wilson told court that the three were discussing how serial numbers from genuine Ugandan currency could be copied and used to produce counterfeit notes, allegedly as part of a plan to destabilize Uganda's economy. However, only Wilson's back is clearly visible in the video, while the voices are difficult to hear. Wilson repeatedly explained to court what he said was being discussed in the recordings. The witness further testified that during the meetings he allegedly agreed with Besigye and Wakaima to train 2 groups of people. According to Wilson, one group was intended for political mobilization and coordination, while the other would be trained to carry out what he described as direct action before being sent to Uganda to execute the alleged plan.
That's Dr. Besigye. This video is from after the long meeting. Joe Wakihima, Dr. Besigye, and Frank Kihiri went out for a discussion.
Wilson also testified about another video clip in which he said he signed a memorandum of understanding with Wakaima. He told court that under the alleged arrangement, the imaginary Kurdish company he represented would provide weapons and financial support to a proposed shadow government.
There were 2 copies, one for me, one for him.
Who was the president then?
Dr. Besigye is on the right-hand side of the screen, and Frank Kihiri was off to the extreme right out of camera shot.
In return, he said he was allegedly promised access to banking systems and airports to facilitate the transportation of drugs and weapons. Wilson further explained that the recordings presented to court had been edited to highlight what he considered important visual portions of the meetings. He said sending the complete video files to Uganda would have required more data and time. The trial, which started last Monday, is proceeding in Besigye's absence after the court ruled that he had previously conducted himself in a manner that disrupted proceedings. The case continues tomorrow.
Now, further afield, nearly 1,000 travelers heading from Nairobi to Kampala are facing long delays at the Busia border, with some spending up to 5 hours waiting to be cleared by Kenyan immigration officials. We cover that report.
The travelers, including traders, teachers and students, began arriving shortly after midnight, but by 10 a.m., many were still stuck in long queues. Faizo Serada, a money changer at the border, says the first bus from Nairobi arrived shortly after midnight and took nearly 5 hours to have its passengers cleared. Serada attributes the delays to the slow pace of work by Kenyan immigration authorities.
These problems have started from the Kenyan side of immigration. They removed all the old employees and put new ones who work slowly.
The situation was further compounded by the large number of students returning from the East African Games in Morogoro, Tanzania. Jonathan Seguja, who arrived at the border at about 4 a.m., says they expected the clearance process to take only a few minutes, but the wait stretched for hours.
We've always traveled using this border, so we expected this process to take a few minutes, only to reach here and find a very tainting situation. If they can increase the speed, the better.
Under the one-stop border post arrangement, Kenyan and Ugandan immigration officers operate from the same border facility, with Kenyan officials expected to receive travelers and hand them over to their Ugandan counterparts. Ideally, a traveler should spend about 15 minutes being cleared. But for some travelers, the wait has been significantly longer. Vincent Kasasa, who arrived at the border at about 4 a.m., says he was still in the queue 3 hours later.
There's a lot of congestion. There's no security. The people themselves, we are the ones trying to put order here. So we are calling upon the government, most especially the Minister of Internal Affairs, to do something about Busia border. Some of us are traveling from Morogoro. We have seen some order on other borders like Namanga. We had a lot of congestion, but at least there was some order, and the security was guiding the people. But at Busia, there's no security. There's no person trying to guide people. We have been here for more than 5 hours. People are congested here. The buses are congested.
Kasasa says the delays are disrupting travelers' work and other schedules.
Well, now let's talk matters gold processing. The government has launched a new gold processing unit targeting to produce 20 kilograms of gold per week. Euro Gold Refinery, which launched its small-scale mining operations in Yumbe, now says it will operate 2 processing units, each with a capacity to produce about 10 kilograms per week, with a target of increasing the export earnings. The project follows 2 years of prospecting, geographical surveys, exploration and drilling to establish the area's mineral potential. Its operations now cover approximately 79 square kilometers across West Nile, with Yumbe serving as its pioneer site in the region. Last year, according to the Bank of Uganda, gold exports alone contributed to $5.8 billion, approximately 21.1 trillion shillings, up 44% from the previous year, while coffee exports earned $2.4 billion, approximately 8.7 trillion shillings, a 40% increase to the GDP.
Last year, according to the Bank of Uganda, gold exports alone contributed to USA dollars 5.8 billion, approximately Ugandan shillings 21.1 trillion shillings, up 44% increase from the previous year, while coffee exports earned USA dollars 2.4 billion, approximately 8.7 trillion shillings, a 40% increase to the national GDP. Euro Gold Refinery, which launched its small-scale mining operations in Yumbe district, now says it will operate 2 processing units, each with the capacity to produce about 10 kilograms of gold per week, with a target of increasing export earnings.
Starting from prospecting to exploration to all kinds of surveys that were done, geochemical, geophysics, geothermal, and so many other things, including drillings, until we are able to attain the capacity of what we're able to do in the ground.
While inspecting the plant, the State Minister for Energy and Mineral Development said the plant has the capacity to crush 6,000 tons of minerals, while warning against mineral-related offenses, including employment of miners.
You can see the Eurogold mine here is mercury-free, and they have potential of crushing 60,000 tons, which would amply enable them have quite a number of products at the end. So this is to call upon all miners across the country to collaborate and abide by the mining laws.
While commissioning the processing plant in Yumbe district, the State Minister for Energy, Fiona Nyamtoro, says this particular site resonates with government's vision of ensuring that there is responsible and sustainable mining.
We expect that your collaboration will help us with traceability, will help us with getting as much information as we can as a ministry to see how much we can add on in terms of supportive mechanisms for proper, sustainable and responsible mining.
The project follows 2 years of prospecting, geographical surveys, exploration and drilling to establish the area's mineral potentials. Its operations now covers approximately 79 square kilometers across West Nile, with the Yombe serving as its pioneer site in the region.
Eurogold existence here holds a license of up to 79.8 kilometers square, which extends beyond Yombe district to Terego district.
Speaking at the launch of the mine, the State Minister for Energy and Mineral Development, Fiona Nyamtero, said the mine is expected to boost mineral production, create job opportunities, and contribute to socio-economic development of West Nile sub-region.
As the chairperson of the artisanal miners said, we want this to move from small scale to medium to large scale.
Over 70% of the workers are locally sourced, and that was one of our agendas when we came on the ground.
Tsingwire Julius, the head of Mineral Police Unit, says more than 15 illegal mining sites in the country have been closed as part of the efforts to fight illegal mining, stop smuggling of minerals across different countries, and ensure law and order. He also reports accidents at mining sites, saying that 6 people have died this week as a result of illegal mining.
2 weeks ago, 6 people died in a processing site, and last month, we had 4 people who died.
Eurogold Refinery CEO Bernard Fenn said that the company has set a target of producing at least 20 kilograms of gold per week as its newly launched small-scale mining operations in Yombe district expands.
That's why when you look at the setting here, this is just the beginning, where we're expecting to have at least 20 kilograms like in a week.
Abdul Talib Asiku, the local council 5 chairperson of Yombe district, has requested Eurogold to ensure that they extend their social corporate responsibilities by ensuring that they extend safe water for the communities here and also improve the road networks.
We have roads, and also within here, we still have a challenge of water for consumption. So the fact that they're here, we want to urge that the question of corporate social responsibility must be taken seriously.
Rashula Deeds, NTV Business in Yombe district.
Well, now, away from that, Uganda's health sector continues to face a shortage of specialists in medical imaging, with fewer than 60 radiologists serving a population of more than 45 million people. The shortage can mean longer waits for patients needing X-ray results, particularly in health facilities outside major urban centers. Now, a Ugandan technology platform, Luna Diagnostics, is developing an artificial intelligence system designed to analyze medical images in seconds and support clinicians in making faster diagnosis. This is the Innovation Nation. Well, for these couple of coming weeks, we shall be camped here at the National ICT Innovation Hub here in Nakawa, bringing to you a number of innovators who are centered here and coming up with solutions, speaking to technology and the world of innovation. But first on the agenda, today we do have Luna DX, which is an AI-powered solution helping clinicians interpret X-ray results. For many patients, getting a diagnosis can depend not only on access to medical equipment, but also on having a specialist available to interpret the results. Uganda has a limited number of radiologists, creating a significant gap between medical imaging and timely diagnosis, especially in rural and underserved areas.
That is where Luna comes in to be able to reduce the delays when it comes to medical images and diagnostics from days and weeks to literally under a minute. So Luna Diagnostics is a platform, a tech platform that is using artificial intelligence to be able to read and interpret medical images on behalf of different hospitals in Uganda.
It is a gap Luna Diagnostics says it is seeking to address through artificial intelligence. The platform, known as Luna DX, is designed to analyze X-ray images and generate a report within seconds, giving clinicians additional information to support their medical judgment.
It's quite easy, three-step process. So the clinician just takes the X-ray from the X-ray machine. They upload it on our site. The site does the analysis and gives a report in literally a matter of seconds. And then the clinician is able to give a diagnosis based on their medical judgment, but with the results from the X-ray.
The developers say the technology is intended to reduce diagnostic delays that can stretch from days to weeks in some health facilities.
Currently, it could take days, up to, especially in the government, the public health facilities back in underserved regions. It could take days up to weeks to literally get results from an X-ray, from a medical image, right? So that is where Luna comes in to fill in that gap by making it easier for the clinician to be able to reduce the diagnostic time up to literally under a minute.
But Luna DX is not being positioned as a replacement for doctors. Its developers say the artificial intelligence is designed to assist clinicians, particularly in facilities where specialist radiologists' expertise may not always be readily available.
At the end of the day, it is an AI, so it does not give the final diagnosis. It is helping reduce the time and also help increase the accuracy rates. But then the final diagnosis is done by the clinician who is in charge of the whole process.
The platform has been under development with support from Uganda's National ICT Hub, the Ministry of ICT and the Ministry of Health. The developers say the system has now reached a stage where they are preparing to move into clinical pilots in selected health facilities with a particular focus on rural and underserved areas.
We built it in a way that it is easily accessible for everyone, especially the hospital workflows, so they can literally just go on in their preferred browser and just type in www.lunadx.health. They'll be able to sign up and then ask for a demo. We'll show them how we can easily integrate within their systems and they can easily use it.
As Uganda looks to expand the use of technology in healthcare, platforms such as Luna DX could offer a way of extending specialist support to facilities that may not have immediate access to radiologists.
It is an artificial intelligence, but we keep updating it as we go. And as we all know, or those who didn't know, AI gets smarter the more information it's fed. So with every X-ray image that we upload to it, it helps it become more accurate. So currently, our model that we are using, it is at 93% accuracy, which is way higher than the human accuracy rate. So, of course, that makes it a little bit better and more trustworthy. And then, on the other hand, the model that we are using is licensed by MIT. So, yeah.
Well, that does it for this episode of the NTV Innovation Nation. Next week, when we do return, we return at the same location of the National ICT Innovation Hub in Nakawa, and we shall be bringing to you another tech-related solution that is speaking to the world of tech in medicine or in the health sector. Quite a number of innovators are centered in this one place, but we will be identifying for you the unique ones and bringing them to you so that you can see how fast Uganda is going to speak to the digital transformation era that we are in. Joram Paul Sonko for NTV Innovation Nation in Nakawa. Now, earlier on, we did ask you to share your thoughts on how today's police crackdown on faulty taxis went. We do have some of the opinions come and go along. On X, we do have John the Ranger, who says, let the government work on roads as well, because I think he meant potholes cause damages to vehicles. And then we have Jackson Oriokot, who says, I wish they could do more because we are tired with these broken vehicles. Someone with Willie Aboki Will says, we need safety in our journey. Police should continue with the operation and even to drivers who are not qualified. And then Annie Ann says, Matuga Kasangati Road, the police should camp there. Those taxis are deadly. And then one final one we'll be taking. Rahman Raymond says, good operations. Kampala was too shabby. The conversations do continue online. You can share with us your feedback as well. Well, you're still watching NTV Tonight. When we do return after the break, Malcolm Musime will be here with the latest from the world of business. Stick around.
Entrance there and their exit there. What is it?
So where is the building?
Fast, stress-free construction. Get your factory-made buildings in 12 weeks with SafBuild. Order yours now. SafBuild, a quality building solution from Uganda Bati.
Can I have a light, please? What is this?
Castle Light, the best testing light.
Try it.
Try it, try it, try it. Da, 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 da.
Guys, look at this post.
Nothing hits like extra cold. Castle Light. Try it.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugamotia. Urina kachi. Ha. Kagulinzi tekako. Kagulinzi. I want everything, eh? Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put in more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
Today is a good day to draw up a new play. So start something. Make your move and get in your groove. Do it for the ground. Turn on your lights. Tusker lights.
Good evening. Let's have a quick look at business. We start with real estate because Lands and Housing and Urban Development Minister Judith Nabakoba has linked access to affordable housing with a 60% boost in revenue compliance, noting that the sector contributes a good percentage of the country's GDP. Speaking at the ceremony to mark 10 years of the Real Estate Institute of East Africa in Kampala, she said the government is pursuing the establishment of mortgage refinancing company to tackle persistently high rates of owning a home and easing the challenges associated with the value chain. However, she also warned that the sector remains severely challenged in meeting the growing demand for affordable and decent housing, with most Ugandans still unable to access it due to the challenges noted above.
That's a big contribution. That is about 12.135 trillion of Uganda's GDP. Additionally, it is proven that access to affordable housing is associated with 60% tax compliance. So we thank you so much. It stimulates and sustains the employment with about 2.2%. We are looking at 336,000 employment of labor, being employed in the construction sector, and in addition, housing associated with 67.4% of home-based enterprise improvement in health, but also education outcomes.
Since we opened Real Estate Institute in 2016, now which is 10 years today, we have handled 326 members that have gone through us. We have like 3%, they have graduated in specialist designations, which are quite different. We have specialists in property development. We have a specialist designation in real estate brokerage. We have a specialist in land registration, which is land transactions. We have also a specialist designation in property development. We have seen these people come together to really upgrade the standards of the industry. We made sure that we also train the trainers of real estate. Not that everyone will come to train real estate because we know it is unique.
To the extractive sector now, continues to face significant gaps in revenue reporting and transparency. According to the previous extractive sector findings, as observers await the release of the 5th Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative report covering 2023-24 financial year. The report, scheduled for launch on the 23rd of next month, is expected to provide the latest data on the sector's contribution to the economy and government revenue.
Away from improving transparency and disclosure, the report recommends strengthening Uganda's EITI legal framework and enhancing project-level reporting to improve accountability in the extractive sector, measures it says will be critical in ensuring Uganda's mineral wealth delivers greater benefits to its people.
The statistics may not translate into real value because they are not known to the people on ground. What the people need to know is what happens next. When you say $1 trillion, can the $1 trillion translate into amoxicillin in a health center? Can the geological data easily turn into roads?
Mineral exports accounted for just 0.0004%, with iron ore emerging as the leading export, contributing 68.7%, valued at 81 billion shillings. The report also puts artisanal and small-scale miners in sharper focus.
That following the new law, the mining law, ASMs now with licenses provide us with a picture of how much they contributed, and we can see through the revenues submitted by the respective ASM licenses. We can see that it's a tune of 151 billion, which is the highest at 32.6%.
The former illegal miners have been able to generate revenue equivalent to 151 billion, and those are the few that have been licensed. So how much are we losing? So it is a journey. It is a journey, and we believe if we continue operating like this, we will be able to achieve.
Rona Nahabwe, NTV Business.
Well, more than a decade after its launch, the Northern Corridor Integration Project are still facing financing and implementation hurdles. And the countries involved, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan, are seeking to deepen regional trade. And the initiative links the 4 countries to the port of Mombasa with major projects spanning transport, trade facilitation, energy, and digital connectivity. So NTV's Betty Ndagire ahead of reports ahead of the pending 15th Heads of State Summit.
For millions of East Africans, regional integration is no longer just government talk, it's everyday reality. Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, and South Sudan are now reviewing 14 massive cross-border projects. They span from toll-free roaming and fiber internet to shared power grids and regional satellite. But with the last major summit held back in 2018, a massive question remains. Can these 4 nations actually turn years of promises into faster, cheaper trade for the people on the ground?
In Uganda, one of the clusters is the ICT cluster that is chaired by the Ministry of ICT.
and national guidance. And in this cluster, one of the things that we are supposed to do as a project is to ensure that the partner states have a one network area. That is harmonized communication. There are no roaming costs back. The other project that we are working on is coming up with a regional satellite.
There were challenges initially because of the lack of coordination between our partner states in terms of execution, because whereas the projects were transboundary, but the execution was national.
Kenya and Rwanda are calling for outstanding projects and ministerial decisions to be closed before the 15th Heads of State Summit, with financing, coordination and different national priorities still slowing delivery.
We must align our strategic priorities, address persistent bottlenecks and renew our collective resolve to execute agreed projects within the set timelines. This meeting, therefore, provides a timely platform to take stock of our progress.
In reporting to our foreign ministers and heads of states for possible guidance and further directives during the next summit, we should be clear on what has been fully implemented, what is pending, and why.
For businesses and the people who depend on the corridor, the measure of integration will ultimately be simple. Less time at the borders, lower costs and fewer barriers to moving goods, money and opportunity across the region. Betty Ndagire, NTV Business.
Okay, but to the Uganda shilling edged weaker against the dollar as light corporate dollar demand weighed in on otherwise subdued markets. Money markets remained well supplied with liquidity following government's releases last week, and overnight 1 week rates averaged 9.5 to 9.75 respectively, and the Bank of Uganda leaving liquidity conditions unchanged. And in the news from the bond markets, the central bank will auction 990 billion in treasury bonds, reopening the 2, 5 and 15-year benchmark maturities. On the other hand, what you see on your screen is the Uganda Securities Exchange, which extended its gains, with the all-share index rising 0.48% and local companies index up 0.09%. Trading was led by Stanbic Bank, Uganda, and turnover was well over 300 billion shillings, followed by MTN Uganda, which traded 130.9 million. In total, the market recorded 457.8 billion in turnover. Some 70 deals were executed. Let's move away after giving you the latest from the global markets. But oil prices went down more than $1 a barrel as investors took profits after recent gains and awaited details of an expected new U.S. sanctions on Iran, which could further disrupt supplies from the Middle East. And then in the metals market, gold prices pushed to their highest in more than 3 months as technical buyers piled into a rally driven by U.S. Treasury's recent buyback announcement and the weaker dollar. Markets are also waiting for the U.S. inflation data.
Well, that does it for NTV Tonight, today, Monday. And we've had plenty of stories. I'm still here with Malcolm Musimu.
I like the quiet before the storm.
Yeah.
The Chelsea storm? Or after the storm, after the Man United storm?
The Man United storm. I think for us as Arsenal supporters, we don't want Man United to go through with anything good this season. But I don't know, Chelsea might...
Okay, because Man United does not have a Spanish manager, maybe they could be... I mean, there are 5 Spanish managers now in the Premier League. You know that? 5 Spanish managers. And about, I think, 4-5 also English managers. But the Spanish are really quite doing well. Starting off really badly, I think Justin and the company will be discussing the results. But I don't think they'll be happy because Justin, I think Clive, I think the whole house, Andrew, they're all Man United. They're all United fans. Oh, it's going to be I hope we enjoy the show.
I don't know, Malcolm, I don't know, what's your pick for the favourites to win the Premier League this season?
The favourites to win the Premier League, it's going to be Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Not even Arsenal, it won't come close.
I think Arsenal will take it.
Okay, good. Congratulations. We wish you well. All the best. But coming up is Sport Nights, and we'll be on the sidelines really watching with you. But please stay tuned to NTV.
Well, Maury Nambaliro has been our sign language interpreter. Till tomorrow, good evening.